This is 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Callum.
And this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. Today we're talking about swimming. Now, Callum, how old were you when you started to swim?
I suppose before 10? Before I was 10, I think.
Quite young.
Yeah.
Well, swimming is a very popular activity in the UK, but according to a recent survey, 1 in 5 adults in the UK cannot swim. What's more, millions of children in the UK can't swim a length of a pool. I think most people recognise that swimming is very important for safety and good for fitness. But maybe some people weren't introduced to the water early enough, and they don't have the confidence to start swimming later in life. In a moment, we'll hear from some people who coach swimming for adults and children. But first, I have this week's question for you, Callum.
I thought you might.
In 2007, the Slovenian swimmer Martin Strel broke his own world record for long-distance swimming. But what distance did he swim? Was it 3,268 kilometres, 4,268 kilometres, or 5,268 kilometres?
4,268, I'll say that.
Okay.
I really don't know.
OK, well, we'll see if you're right at the end of the programme. First, let's hear from the BBC reporter Sophie van Bruggen. She went to a swimming pool to find out more about swimming classes for adults and children. Let's have a listen to the clip. How many children does she say have taken swimming classes in the last year?
Not everybody is confident in the water, and many of us learn to swim later on in life. And in fact, experts now say that the best time to learn is when we're babies and children. And in the last year alone, over 300,000 little ones have gone through classes.
She says that over 300,000 little ones have taken swimming classes.
By little ones, of course, she means children or toddlers. Toddlers are children who are just learning to walk, usually when they're about 2 years old.
That's right. And the best time to learn how to swim is when you're a baby.
And that makes sense. I mean, I think a lot of babies are natural swimmers, so it's good for them to be in the water from an early age.
As long as they've got proper supervision.
Definitely. To supervise means to watch over something, and the noun supervision is when someone watches over someone else, like a parent watching over, taking care of a child.
It really is natural for babies to be in the water, and as long as they have the proper supervision, babies as young as 3 months old can start swimming. We have a clip from baby swimming teacher Jenny May. She says that if babies spend time swimming from the earliest opportunity, it becomes second nature for them to be in the water.
Second nature. This is when you do something so often that it becomes totally natural to you. So when a child starts to swim very early on, swimming becomes second nature to them.
OK, well, let's listen to the clip. Listen out for the phrase second nature and see how she uses it in context.
When they're under 6 months, it's just almost a natural thing for them to be under the water, and then it just becomes second nature to them. So as they're older, they don't know any different than being under the water and being wet.
So if a baby starts swimming early enough, it becomes second nature to them, and they don't know any different from being underwater and being wet.
But what about people who don't learn to swim when they're young? The 1 in 5 British adults who can't swim, what can they do?
Well, there are a number of schemes to encourage people to swim, including the BBC's Big Splash campaign, which celebrates swimming and wants to get more people into the water, whether they're adults or children.
The Big Splash campaign. A splash is the sound that's made when something hits water, and you can hear the word making the same sound. Splash.
It's a great word. And there are lots of classes for adults to learn how to swim. Vicky Carter, who teaches swimming to adults, told the BBC about some of the techniques she uses to encourage people to swim. She suggests diving down for bricks and going through hoops as 2 methods to make swimming more fun.
To dive here means to go under the surface of the water, and it can also mean to jump headfirst into water. A hoop is a circular band, usually made of metal or plastic, so she suggests diving down for bricks or swimming through hoops as a way to make swimming more interesting.
Right, it's time to go back to today's question, Callum. The Slovenian swimmer Martin Strel broke the world record for long-distance swimming in 2007. but what was his record-breaking distance? Was it 3,268 kilometres, 4,268 kilometres, or 5,268 kilometres?
Well, I chose 4,268 kilometres, but it's just a guess. They are all extraordinarily long distances.
Well, he actually swam 5,268 kilometres along the length of the Amazon River to break his own world record. Incredible. OK, well, we're almost at the end of the programme. So, Callum, could you remind us of some of the vocabulary we've heard in today's programme?
Of course, we had toddlers, to supervise, supervision, second nature, splash, to dive, and hoops.
Thanks, Callum. If you've enjoyed today's programme, why not write to us about your favourite places to swim, or ways to make swimming more interesting for children and adults. OK, well, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
That was 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.